What is up, book nerds? We're doing an NFL General Manager tier list. I was looking through some old videos on the channel and realized we have not done one of these yet. I mean, I'm shocked, but let's get into it first. Just gotta get this out the way. All the teams who have a new GM. Let's see, the Raiders, they got Tom Telesco off the Chargers. He was alright. I mean, he is the guy who got us. Justin Herbert. Let's see, Panthers. I mean, after that crapshoot last season makes sense. Similar case with the Commanders, to the Chargers, who just fired Telesco, and the Patriots. Let's get them all out the way. We're not gonna have an F tier today because all those people. Let's see, Bears. I'm gonna throw them into D tier. I mean, this isn't a team that I really just. I do like a lot of their more recent moves. They bolstered their wide receiver room. They got Caleb Williams. But it's also I need to see all these moves play out. And something where the Bears show what the Bears could be. I do want to talk about the Texans throwing them into B tier because this team, I when I when the guy I think it was like his first season, I had him in F tier. I thought he was not good, but then he balled out. He got Will Anderson. He got C.J. Stroud. Now they got Danielle Hunter and Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon, albeit Joe Mixon is probably the most overrated running back. But I think if the Bears' moves pan out, I feel like they could be up there with the Texans. And let's knock out the best team in the league, the Chiefs. This should be no surprise to anybody. Yeah, there should be no shock. They just came off a Super Bowl. They have probably one of the best rosters in the league. Probably not the best, but they are really good. I mean, the man gave us Patrick Mahomes. I don't think you could say much else. Vikings C tier. What's really helping them out is the fact that they gave us Jay Jettas. That is really helping them. But other than that, depending on how J.D. McCarthy turns out, that's really about it. Let's see, Jets. I'll throw them also in C tier. I mean, Aaron Rodgers' pick seemed to be a good pick. Not good pick, good trade, a free agency signing, whatever it was. That was good. I think, yeah, it was a trade. That was good until he got hurt. I mean, they drafted really well. I mean, they got Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner in the same draft. I mean, Garrett Wilson like one of the best corners in the league, and Garrett Wilson, I'd say, is an above average wide receiver. They got a good running back in Breece Hall. I mean, they won that draft. That was really good. Let's speed this up a bit. S here. Howie Mandel is a magician. He's able to pull off moves that make no sense. He's someone who we should not keep giving him all these great moves. We'll throw the Lions in A tier. This team's been really good of recent. I mean, they got Aiden Hutchinson, Jahmyr Gibbs. They got, let's see, they traded for Jared Goff. They made a bunch of great moves. Also in S tier are the Ravens and the Niners. Both of these teams have assembled amazing rosters. I mean, the Niners probably the deepest roster in the league, and the Ravens got one of the best running games and a pretty great defense. The Bills, I'll throw them in A tier. I mean, they got Josh Allen. I mean, they had to pay off a bunch of debts this year, so their roster took a big hit. Let's see, Dolphins. I'm gonna throw them into A tier because this team. They one of the best rosters in the league, one of the fastest. I mean, I don't know if speed is the best thing to base your team around, but it was good. Cardinals D tier. This team, this roster just doesn't scream anything out to me. Like Marvin Harrison could be scary, a scary good receiver, but other than that, not much else. Browns B tier. They have a pretty solid roster. I really can't think of many people who they've drafted as of recent. Honestly, when was the last time they had a first overall pick? Because the Deshaun Watson trade, that was a horrible move. That's hurting them a lot, but the roster is not horrible, so I can't put them any lower. Next up, Cowboys. A tier. This team, one of the best rosters in the league consistently. they never can do anything with it. How about probably the most middle of the road roster, the Saints? I think they're the most definition of mid. They got some good young talent though. How about let's throw my team Giants in D tier. I mean, we had to we had to let go of Saquon, which it was a move we had to. Other than that, we gave Daniel Jones that contract, which yeah, bad move. Malik Neighbors, I can see him being a good wide receiver. So I think that'll be a good pick. And other than that, we haven't really done much. I mean, we got to trade for Brian Burns, which hopefully he's good. He's got that Panthers funk on him. Heavily mixed with our funk. I don't know if that'll work out. Let's see C tier. Colts. This is their team. They're very reserved. Like this offseason, they barely made any moves, but the moves they did make were good. I mean, they kept most of their moves were literally just keeping the roster together. A lot of lateral moves, like they lost Gardner Minshew, but got Joe Flacco. I think that'd be like the definition of a lateral move. Something interesting. The Seahawks A tier, even though the roster right now doesn't really look that great, their GM has been there for forever, and he's been like very underrated. Someone who has not fallen under the radar are the Falcons. C tier. What was their plan this offseason? This is probably the most mixed team. On the one hand, they got Kirk Cousins. Great move. They get Michael Penix. I understand it. I would not recommend it. It's not like if they were doing this like next year, like drafting a quarterback next year, it makes sense. Not this year. At least let Kirk Cousins play out at least 1 year of his contract before you draft a rookie quarterback. That's at least how I sense it, because I know they're trying to go for the Aaron Rodgers thing, how Jordan Love came out really good, and that lit a fire under Aaron's behind. But this is not looking good. They made some moves at the end of free agency. They got a defense player out of the Patriots, but I forgot his name, but I think he was like the best player in New England, and they got what was it? Justin Simmons in free agency. Finally, someone picked him up. Yeah. Let's see, next A tier for the Packers. I mean, this is probably the most bloated A tier I've seen, but I think they deserve it. I mean, Jordan Love. I hated the pick when it first came out, but he's going to be pretty good. They basically, I don't know how much of, because most of the people, I don't know if do I attribute it to the GM, do I attribute it to Jordan Love on the offense, or do I attribute it to the coaching? But let's finish this list out. Titans, I'll put them in D tier. I mean, this last season was pretty good. The last offseason was good. They made a bunch of moves. But they downgraded in a lot of spots. Will Levis, I think, is actually good. Bengals B tier because they have made some great picks, but they've also made a lot of questionable moves. I mean, but what's keeping them pretty high is they got Jamar Chase, they got Joe Burrow. They haven't really done that much on the defense, and the offensive line is kind of questionable after last season. I'll throw the Jaguars in D tier. I mean, this team, a lot of ups and downs. They've been through some very bad times. I'm questioning Trevor Lawrence a bit. I mean, I think he can be good, especially with that new contract. But I don't know how lasting, because he did the same numbers of Daniel Jones with a way better offense. In the same vein, Broncos, their roster arguably the worst in the league. That's competition with the Panthers. Yeah, not good. I'm also put the Rams in S tier because they literally bought a Super Bowl ring. I mean, they had to pay the price, but now they're back in contention. And if the Lions can get a Super Bowl, I would say that the Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff trade may be one of the best trades in history, because both teams got a lot out of it. Steelers C tier, definitely one of the teams that's also very, very mid. A lot of this decade, this roster has been trash, and Mike Tomlin had to throw this team on his back and carry them to the promised land. Bucks B tier. They got Tom Brady, and they were able to put together a good team without Brady. So I'll give them that. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified when I upload next. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.